Garcinia grove. These are a bunch of Luke's seedlings and some other special South American Garcinias. Got a row of these three bigger ones back here are macrophylla. And there's a small one, medium back there, and large. They're pushing new leaves, and then this Russell Sweet is really pushing new leaves. It's in the shade right now, but you might be able to see how red that is. Yeah. And it's got a couple branches coming out on the side on this one too. It's Russell Sweet. And a couple grafted seashore mangosteen. There's the other small Russell Sweet down there with the red growth tip. And it's all situated here with this beautiful Luke's Garcinia in the pot of this big Achachayuru, which I planted in this 150-gallon pot. So big. And the trunk is right here. Nice bark texture on it. Going up, still pretty nice trunk. And actually this one fell when it was in a 25-gallon. One of the signs it wanted more space. And the top actually broke off there. You can see it's just like a horseshoe at the very top, which is cool because it won't get too tall, and it's branching out into a nice pyramid. Let's see if I can get it all in the frame here without stepping on anything. A little bit of a tangle, but you can see that main trunk going in there, and behind this Luke's Garcinia is the big pot and all the potted plants on top of it. So it's basically an improvised terrace garden, or vertical garden in a way. And these plants on the top obviously will need water, and then they'll hold water and they'll drain water into the lower one. So the water is just kind of like contained better, and I don't have to be doing that as much as opposed to having them in separate places. So it retains moisture better, and then it's in this giant pot which can conceivably be moved with some effort and multiple people, maybe some equipment. But we were gonna keep this in the backyard anyway, so it would need to scoot to another location, so that's doable. Scooting, and then if we ever move it to some expanded space, put it in the ground, then that's also doable. But it should fruit in this pot, and maybe, if we're lucky, this year, because it'll be so happy. I did it in early spring, put it in the giant pot with a bunch of organic compost and everything that we made. So it's already pushing leaves. This was potted a little over a week ago in the big pot. And then we've got a fruiting lemon drop intermedia here in front. This tangle of Garcinias. You can see nice trunk down here. And the prettiest things about these Garcinias is this amazing trunk bark. When the bark starts taking over the green, it makes this amazing, be enough of an attracting factor to just grow the trees. See, in each node lower it gets less until it's almost gone. It's like art. It really is very pretty. Or like some fired ceramic that looks amazing. Some raku, I think it's called. Yeah, there's some flowers on this intermediate. Camera is not focusing today. The day is just too bright and brilliant. Yep, some flowers on the intermedia. They're still just trickling. I don't know what to do quite to get them. I think just wait and keep feeding them good. Varieties. Pouteria viridis, the green sapote. Where's a couple flowers open now, yeah. There you go. Much more elongated and tubular green flowers than what I've seen from Mamey. They seem like a little bit longer. Here's some more, maybe some fruits, I don't know, still small. And then our big Luke's Garcinia. This is the biggest one we have so far. Putting out a nice triple branch on top. Throwing out these hot pink. This one has the hot pink, real good. See over there, yeah, I love that. It just makes it the most beautiful tree. Again, like worth growing just for that. And for these amazing undulations in the side of the leaf and the glossiness, it makes it have the most exotic appearance. The only annoying thing with them is a lot of times the leaves come out kind of like weird. But, you know, if you can get some nice leaves put out on it, I think when I repot this one next, it's going to start doing it. You can see through the veins real easy too on the slukes. But yeah, the top just kind of erupts out of like a fissure between these two leaves. There's just, that's how Garcinias, just they have like a crack there, and it widens, and then this little spike shoots out. And this one makes the hot pink growth, but you can see that's actually 3 branches, which will make this structure below the main branch, which will be good, just like this. So, and then that eventually, also this amazing kind of graceful, like almost like a bow, like an archery bow. It's like very gentle kind of bend. And then Keppel is finally happy after winter. Mame, Graft. These new leaves are just, that's my favorite look there. Just takes me to the tropics. Linnea, doing really good. Just ate a fruit off this morning. The seeds were aborts, and the fruit I think could have been sweeter, but it was an improvement over the first one, which was actually kind of bitter. And I think the reason was transplanting it while it was in fruit. So I was lucky just to even hold them, I think, this time, but you can see how many flowers there are. So now that it's in the 150 gallon, this is the companion 150 gal planter pot. And I did the similar thing with just sort of mixed species, a couple Annona, like this is Annona cornifolia. Really pretty. Yep, trying to get some shot on that leaf there. There we go. Very pretty. There we go. Love the new leaves on the cornifolia. And these little, move this light thing, these little Mercieria tenellas. This is a little like bushy Jaboticaba species that is very tiny little leaves, and they can get kind of to be like a big hedge, but they'll just fruit these little orange or red, I have both varieties, fruits that are very tasty. Not a lot to eat, but you could collect a ton of them off of a big bush, and you could make something really interesting, fermented drink or something, or ice cream, or just nibble on them while you're gardening. You know, all those apply. So this is plenty Annona, the dwarf Jaboticaba, so it's called, or the Añado Cerrado. And it's just a very like wispy, lanky kind of, I've seen pictures of them in habitat where they just look like sticks. And that new growth is coming out. This one's apparently, people have a little bit of trouble keeping this one happy. I haven't had too much difficulty. They just can be, here's another, a little fickle. So this one's got these 2 branches. Plenty Annona. I think this one's got a ton of potential for the dwarf Jaboticaba department, so I've got a bunch of them we're going to try to fruit out. And then random seedlings that the tags got mismatched. I'm sure they're all good varieties I went out of my way to get. Now, it's another Tenella. Here we have hiding in this very flowering Rollinia that just has very many flowers. Let's see there. Yeah, there's like almost 100 or something on it this time. We have, where is it? Yeah, Annona scleroderma poshte. This is a really like rare and kind of sometimes overlooked Annona, but it deserves more attention. It's just, I'm not sure why it's overlooked really, especially with a lot of these things. And I heard somebody say yesterday that, like, you know, if there was anything good, they would have already heard about it. I really don't agree with that. Especially from my friends who have eaten this one, the poshte. I think I picked this when I was in Guatemala, actually, and it just didn't ripen in time for me to eat it. Had a hard shell, and that's a characteristic of the poshte. It has a hard shell, so it can store, the fruit can store very well, and it's a, people who've eaten it, and some of my friends who've tasted it, they say that it's really good. It's at least as good as the big ones, cherimoya, soursop. Got a very creamy custardy taste apparently, and this is another big intermedia that's kind of rounding out area here. Let's see if there's anything else I want to show you in here. We've got, yeah, a couple. This is a dwarf Pouteria related to Mame, and it makes little fruits that look like purple or like dark Bing cherries, kind of, and then they have a sweet avocado taste. So this one could be fruited in a pot. It's a Cerrado species. There's the other one. Pouteria species Preta. And then here is a grafted Annona Montana. This is grafted from the tree that I get all my graft stock seedlings from, and this is a seedling of that tree and a mature branch grafted onto it. And part of the reason is I'm sort of sentimental about certain trees that I've discovered that have influenced my life. I stumbled on this one, and it has definitely helped my projects vastly. I've now grafted almost approaching 10 species of Annona onto Annona Montana now. So I wanted a mature branch to produce fruits, to produce seeds, so that I can make my own graft stock. But also, just the fruits themselves are kind of pretty good. I like them. I think they could be processed into something, and they're considered medicinal. I think it's an underrated fruit. I understand why people don't like it, but here's what's a little Cerrado Eugenia? Yeah, that's Christaensis. That's just a new shoot coming off. It's very wispy. Like, there's some more growth down there. Very wispy and lanky, like a lot of the Cerrado stuff can be. And then we've got a rare Campomenesia here. Campomenesia aurea. Aurea, yep. Coming up from the bottom too. So hopefully that one's self-fertile. It's the only one I've got. So just more mixed Jaboticabas and seashore mangosteen seedlings. I'm going to try to use those graft stock. There's a Canistel Oro in the ground. This one's actually in the ground. And in this bed that I'm showing you here with the big 150 gal pots, this is just like a rectangular space. So I can back up, and so we're packed into a pretty small amount of space, and we're packing a lot in. People ask me all the time, like, how do you do it? Or like, what, you know, like, how much room do you have? When I tell them what I'm growing, you know, it's like, well, not a lot. A pretty, you know, average or smaller, like, space here. So, but you just gotta, you know, container planting opens a lot of possibilities. This is mixed in ground and container, and yeah, this Canistel is one of the things that's in the ground, and it is the Oro variety. Real nice big fruits, lots of fruit on it. And this one, I think it's only the second time it's fruited, and it's holding like 8. And this is supposedly the biggest Canistel variety. I mean, these ones are still pretty far out from ripe. And Canistel is, you know, really good. It's not my favorite to eat out of hand. I will eat them out of hand, and, you know, I do kind of enjoy it, but I really like them in milkshakes, smoothies. This lemon drop intermedia, one of our big, this one I just discovered is flowering. It's probably going on 5 years old this summer in a 15 gallon, but yeah, where is it? There's one. I just noticed this the other day, and I was trying to get some soil to upgrade these so that they would do this, and then this one just decided to go ahead and do it. So I think I'm only waiting on this one next to it, which looks like it might have a little something going on. They're all like the same age, same batch, and then I've got another one along the fence. But we also have sugar apples and Pitanga in ground here, but this is a potted, in this bed, this is a potted seashore mangosteen. This is our big seedling seashore. This one grows like a weed. It really is vigorous. It's probably the fastest growing of the Garcinias I've grown. Slow from seedling. Like, seedlings grow pretty slowly, but once they get big, they grow faster than the other ones that a lot of the other ones I've grown. I'd say the Garcinia acuminata, the cherry chuela, is also similarly fast. But yeah, this one could fruit soon. I want to put it in a 25 gallon and get it doing so. So you can see that it's actually really tall. Like, I'd say above the soil line, it's about 8 feet. And with that new push there, it'll be about 9, almost 10 feet. I'll put it in a 25 gallon too. But check out the bark. As you can see going down here, it's just got these amazing patterns that I want to do some kind of art or something. Yeah, really amazing bark pattern. I can get it to focus. Yeah, and as it gets up and up and up, it looks almost like this woody growth pushes out from the center and kind of like stretches out over the surface, but that the original, you know, stem was just green. So it's really cool to watch as it goes up the tree and just becomes a line like that up the trunk until you get up here and there's pretty much nothing, it's just green. So it's really got high ornamental value, and I love the fruit. Sour, but amazingly aromatic. And then in the same bed, we've got a red hybrid. Let's see what we got in here. A couple starting to cling. This one's starting to get more productive. This is like my slightly smaller. I only have 2 big ones. I sold one of my, I started out with 3 and I sold 1, and I sort of regret it, but it's all right. We'll be okay. Grimmel. Big Grimmel just repotted. So, yeah, it's gonna start really soon. It's getting bigger down at the very base there underneath these. And these are all really special species of Jaboticaba. The Merceria affinis delicatula. It's so bright. There we go. Yeah, this is a really cold hardy species and a really, really good one to grow. And then this is, I think, affinis tenella. Oh no, this is delicatula. And then here we have another affinis delicatula, Merceria planioides, the mini Jaboticaba azul. And then I think this is affinis tenella, which is, I guess the mother tree got cut down after the seed harvest. And got the Jamaican nutmeg. You can see the Patenga tubas kind of coming up between the pots, and this stick here is actually an in-ground sugar apple tucked in all this. So hopefully they'll all get along. And then our flowering golden avocado. A bunch of flowers, a lot of bees. A little orchid on there. And then we've got a cacao over here too. The other big seedling seashore mangosteen. So that rounds out the little new garden bed tour, pretty much. Escarlet here, just a lot of seedlings and some really big trees, just trying to make the best of the space. And I think we already have one of these 150 gal plants producing, the Relinia over there. And then I think that this achacha might go off this summer. So it's just trying to give you an idea of what you can do with a little bit of space and some determination and some big pots and a lot of soil. Thanks for watching.